Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Giri Varadari Yashodanandana Praja Janarandana Yashodanandana Praja Janarandana Yamunatila Yamunachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Bihari 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Gaurani Tai Jaya Gaurani Tai Jaya Gaurani Tai Jaya Gaurani Tai Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Subhadra Mai Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Nrsingadev Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada
Hare Krishna.
Radha Madhav, he didn't come, he left, I think. He just
network
connection. I'll come back. Come back, yeah.
Yes.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Pakshati Teshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Prabhu. Today we are going through Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 33rd chapter, 11th shloka. Shraddhat svaitan matam mahyam justam yad brahma vayavadibhi yena mam abhayam yaya mrityum mritshantya atadvida. My dear mother, those who are actually transcendentalists certainly follow my instructions as I've given them to you. You may rest assured that if you traverse this path of self-realization perfectly, surely you shall be freed from fearful material contamination and shall ultimately reach me. Mother, persons who are not conversant with this method of devotional service certainly cannot get out of the cycle of birth and death. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada by purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Material existence is full of anxiety and therefore it is fearful. One who gets out of this material existence automatically becomes free from all anxieties and fear. One who follows the path of devotional service enunciated by Lord Kapila is very easily liberated. Or here, Kapiladev is talking to his mother, Devahuti, about how all transcendentalists will use this formula to get out of the cycle of birth and death, which was explained by Kapila Muni before. Now, this is where Lord Kapila had finished talking about the self-realization, the path of self-realization, and now he's explaining to his mother that all transcendentalists will certainly follow these instructions. The self-realization, which was told about Lord Kapila, is obviously devotional service. Lord Kapila was speaking till now about how one can serve Lord Krishna and re-establish his identity as a jiva, as the servant of Lord Krishna, and reach back to Godhead and get freed from this material world, from the cycle of birth and death. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord explains about what and who the soul is. The soul, the Lord first explains he explains what the soul is by saying that we are the soul. All of this jivatmas, all of us, our souls, are actually the knowers inside the body. We are not the body, but the soul inside the body, the knower. So that's all Lord Krishna explains first. Then he continues further on by telling about the characteristics of the soul. The soul has free will. It can decide upon what it wants to do. It can choose. And the soul also has the will, the freedom to desire. As we know, all jivatmas have come into this material world after having some desire in the spiritual world. After having some desire, wanting to fulfill that desire, they come into this material world. Lord Krishna created this material world for that. So then the Lord explains about how the jivatma, soul, is not destructible, and of how the soul is eternal, is full of bliss and full of knowledge. Now, when someone explains something, for example, what is a table, what is a microphone, what is a bike, For example, if you ask what is a table, you say that it's something it's something which is used to keep things on, and it's made of wood. Like that. What is a sword? It's made of steel or iron or whatever. So when you talk about something, when you try to explain something, you explain it with what it's made of. But Krishna here doesn't explain the soul of what it's made up of. Krishna explains the soul by explaining its characters, how it's indestructible, how it's full of knowledge, it's full of bliss, it's eternal. The soul is us. All of these jivatmas, we are all soul. We're the knower inside the body. The soul is part and parcel of Lord Krishna. Now, people might then speculate on how speculate in ways like, so if we are part and parcel of Lord Krishna, after liberation we go and merge into Lord Krishna, and then we just become God himself. We become equal to God. But that kind of speculation is wrong. Jivatmas, the soul, is part and parcel of Lord Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then explains later on when he appears into this world that the jivas have an identity. Not only that it's a part and parcel of Lord Krishna, it is an eternal servant of Lord Krishna. That's the primary identity of a soul. The soul, even in the spiritual world, may have a secondary identity. For example, on what service it's doing, it could be the dust of Raja, it could be flowers, it could be a gopi. The Jivatma could be a gopi, the Jivatma could be a gopa, it could be the parent of Lord Krishna, someone who is serving Lord Krishna in Sakyaras, Valsalyaras. So it could be different, and all of that will categorize into the secondary identity of the soul. But primarily, they are having all this kind of identities like the dust or the flower of Vrajabhumi or whatever it is. It's there because of the primary identity that we're servants of Lord Krishna. The soul is the servant of Lord Krishna.
Gopi, can you please stop sharing so that we can?
Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So the soul is the primary identity of the soul is that it's the servant of Lord Krishna. And when the soul moves or comes to its primary identity and understands that I am the servant of Lord Krishna, it automatically starts doing devotional service. It starts serving the Lord, because we then understand we're supposed to be serving the Lord. That's what we're supposed to do. That's our identity. Only because of this false ego and false identity, people are into this material world and they don't do devotional service. So a transcendentalist is a person who understands his identity to be a soul, and that means to be the eternal servant of Lord Krishna. So what he's supposed to do is he's supposed to do devotional service for the Lord. So and when we are not having that having this knowledge about the identity, we are not doing devotional service. We don't understand our real purpose of life. So then we automatically we get caught by the three modes of nature. When you're not in devotional service, you're in three modes of nature. Then you keep on get attacked by three modes of nature: passion, ignorance, goodness, all of that. A person can be liberated in the material world itself. For a devotee, even if he's in hell, even if he's in heaven, even if he's in earth, it's all equal to him, because he is always doing devotional service for the Lord. So wherever he is, in whatever circumstance he must undergo, he's always thinking about the Lord, worshipping the Lord. So such a transcendentalist, all three any place is equal for him, any place is okay for him. So even being in the material world, one can be freed from such fearfulness, which is told in the shloka. In the purport, it's told by Prabhupada of how when we have this fear because we're in this material world, and then in this material world we have so many miseries, so many problems. The four miseries is birth, old age, disease, death. So this itself creates fearfulness within us, and that's what is explained in the shloka. And why do we get all of this misery? Well, that's because of not understanding our true identity. If we understand the identity that I am the eternal servant of Lord Krishna, then we don't have to be fearful. Even in the material world, you will still be doing the same thing you would be doing in the spiritual world. You'll be in a spiritual platform. You will be worshipping the Lord. You'll be keep on thinking of the Lord, etc. So that is the real purpose of devotional service, to serve the Lord, just to please the Lord, and no other purpose. When other purposes such as name, fame, and all comes in, it becomes polluted devotional service or mixed devotional service. For example, we do devotional service, but then we do it just to get some name that, oh, I'm a great devotee because I've done this. For example, I build a temple. If I build a temple for Lord Krishna, people think I'm building the temple for Lord Krishna. But then maybe you're just building the temple for getting a good name, that I'm such a good devotee, I have built a temple. So to avoid all of this, we have to have our only purpose to be serving the Lord. Devotional service is only to serve the Lord and please Lord Krishna. When mixed devotional service happens, the three modes of nature still attack even though you're doing devotional service. And just like in the previous talk, I told in the purport, we continue to get purified even though we are in this mixed kind of devotional service. When we do devotional service in a mixed way, where the three modes of nature gets attacked in, is also attacking us, and we're doing it for ego to have a good name, then it doesn't purify us, but it just feeds the false ego, and that finally just chokes the bhakti lata plant. But if we finally understand that we're doing it for false ego, and when we're doing devotional service for getting some name, fame, and if we try to remove that, Krishna helps us. And if we are trying to remove that attitude because we're conditioned souls, we will all these kinds of thoughts will come in anyway. So if we find out our fault, and if we try to rectify it ourselves and keep trying, then Lord Krishna will help us. Not that just by trying we can remove all of this. Because it's extremely hard to remove such thoughts as we are completely conditioned. But when we try, Lord Krishna also helps him. So that's how we have to do devotional service. And doing this devotional service, we can get freed from the fearfulness, from being fearful in the cycle of birth and death. Having this wrong identity is the root of all these problems. For example, when we're fearful because when we're having a wrong identity, when we are, for example, when we are studying, for example, you're in 10th or whatever, if you don't have the identity in that I am if you don't know the identity that I am the eternal servant of Lord Krishna, and you think that, oh, I'm a boy who needs to get a good job, I need to study well, then you'll be fearful. Will I get good marks in the exam? What's going to happen? Then you grow up, then you're fearful. Will you have a job or not? Because what you're thinking your identity to be is that you think that I am the man of the family. I'm supposed to earn for the family. So that's what you think your identity is. When you're grown up, then you get married. You think I am the husband of this family, I'm supposed to earn for the family. Then you have all these problems which come in, and then it creates fear. There'll be so many kinds of fear and so many kinds of miseries. That's because we have this false. We think that our identity is that I'm the husband of the family. I'm supposed to earn. Well, Krishna says, don't quit that. That is a part of the soul. The soul will want to have such identities. That's the nature of the soul. That's free will, and it will create desires. But all of that should be offered to the Lord. That's why Krishna says of how to do your work, do your karma, whatever work, and the fruits, give it to the Lord. The fruits, the results that you get, offer that to the Lord. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjohosi yadasyat tat tapasasi kauntaya tat kurusha mad arpana. Offer all of this. Whatever jnana you get, whatever you do, whatever karma you have done, and then whatever you're going to get, or whatever you have sacrificed, whatever karma you have sacrificed, I mean, like you've already used up, whatever karma you're going to get, whatever fruit you're going to get, and whatever karma you have done, everything, and all kinds of karma, offer it to me. I'll take all of them, and then we'll be pure. Then we only have one focus, only one goal then, serve the Lord. So we can easily attain liberation, freedom from this kind of situation, this material existence. That's how that's what Kapila Muni is explaining in the sloka of how transcendentalists do. They follow this instructions which I have given of devotional service, of self-realization, this path of self-realization, and they're free from this fearful situation of the material existence. So we can even be like pure devotees, like Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, even in right now, even in ISKCON, so many Prabhupada disciples, Srila Prabhupada himself, they're all such pure devotees that even in being in this material existence, they're still free from miseries. Whatever miseries come to them, they still ignore that, and they have only one goal, to serve Lord Krishna. So the material existence is not to be blamed, we are to be blamed, because the soul has free will. The soul can choose what it should do. Choosing the wrong thing will give you its fruit. It will give you misery. Doing the right thing, serving Lord Krishna, focusing on our true identity, that will give you freedom from all these miseries. So you'll be liberated to the state where you don't have to care about all of these miseries, even while you're in the material existence, because you're continuously serving Lord Krishna, and that's the only thing you're doing. Today we're still in the Purushottam Adhika Mas. The Purushottam Adhika Mas is going on. It's a very auspicious month to do a lot of Krishna consciousness. It's multiplied, whatever you do, it's multiplied. So it's a very auspicious month. So even listening to Bhagavatam, whatever it is, it multiplies. And even the next month coming up, according to the spiritual calendar, after this and between will be in 22nd August, 23rd August, the Bhadra month will start. The month of Bhadra, and that's also a very special month, because it gives your ancestors a chance to go back home, back to Godhead. It said that after Bhadra Purnima, the Bhadra Purnima, it's also a very special day to do a lot of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada disciple Vaisheshika Prabhu, with lots of devotees, did a lot of book distribution and preaching on Bhadra Purnima. did a mass preaching program, and all of that. So, and the 15 days after Bhadra Purnima is called as Pitru Paksha. The 15 days, the Paksha. Paksha means the fortnight. I mean 15 days. From full moon to new moon, or new moon to full moon. The 14 days where the moon changes completely. That Paksha of after the Bhadra Purnima, because Purnima is full moon and then it becomes new moon in the next 15 days. So that Paksha is known as Pitru Paksha. And it's very special because the Lord's prasadam is given is offered to the ancestors during that Paksha, and it's said that during this Pitru Paksha, according to the according to the prasad you're offering, according to how pure and all and many conditions, your forefathers, ancestors can be liberated, can be promoted if they're in this material world or in their hellish planets, whatever it is. They can be promoted to either Brahmaloka, they can be even promoted to Vaikunta, they can even be promoted to Goloka Vrindavana. They could even be promoted to Goloka, Vaikunta, Brahmaloka. So it's a very special Paksha, this Pitru Paksha, where you can liberate your ancestors. And but in this Pitru Paksha is also known to be inauspicious because it's for the ancestors who did not make it to the spiritual world, who are still struggling around in the material world or in the hellish planetary systems, doing all of that pujas and all. So this Pitru Paksha is not really very auspicious for us. It's not really considered very auspicious for us. So usually all around in India, people don't do big purchases, expensive items. They do it after the Pitru Paksha or before. They don't conduct any marriages. They don't celebrate any birthdays. They don't do any important business transactions and all. India, all around India, this Pitru Paksha rule is there of how we don't really do anything very auspicious, something which should be done in an auspicious time, a big leap of faith. So, but then in Vrindavan, in Vrindavan, no such rule applies because in Vrindavan, it's festival every day. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma says of how in Vrindavana every day is a festival. So in Vrindavan during this Pitru Paksha, what is celebrated is a festival called Sanji. There is this festival called Sanji. That's what's celebrated in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And there is a very interesting story behind this festival being celebrated called Sanji. In Sanji, what is done is all the Vrajavasis, they create floral patterns on the floor. They create floral patterns, and it's for Sandhya Devi. It's for Sandhya Devi, who is the wife of Surya Bhagavan, the sun god. And usually, according to the Vedas, it's said that Sandhya Devi, how Sandhya Devi should be worshipped is by chanting a special Gayatri. It's chanted by the Brahmanas, and only the Brahmanas can chant this Gayatri and can worship Sandhya Devi, the wife of the sun god. But then there's this very special story on how the Vrajavasis worship Sandhya Devi with this floral pattern called Sanji. One day, it was Bhadra Purnima, and Jatila and Kutila. Jatila had in Yavat, Jatila had told Radharani that Sri Radhe, you can't leave home during this 15 days of Pitru Paksha, because it's said that it's not really auspicious for a newly married Gopi to leave home during this Pitru Paksha. As I told, Pitru Paksha is not considered not very auspicious for us. Very auspicious for the forefathers though, because that's when they are promoted to higher planets. But we don't really do anything else other than that puja. So so Jatila said that you should not leave the room, the house, and Kutila said, well, actually, what we have planned is you should not even leave your room for these 15 days. And so Jatila Kutila told that you will get grave punishments if we see you leaving your room during this Pitru Paksha, this 15 days. So Radharani, being extremely disappointed because for this 15 days she has to be in like a jail in like this room. She can't even go out to meet other gopis, and she can't even meet Lord Krishna. So Radharani, being very desperate and sad, she sat down in her room and started crying, and she started thinking of Lalita Sakhi. And it said that the relationship between Radharani and Lalita Sakhi is so strong that Radharani just has to think, Lalita Sakhi, I'm missing you, I please want to see you. And then Lalita Sakhi appears that moment. It said that Radharani and Lalita Sakhi's connection is that strong. For other gopis, she has to call out, oh, Anjali, oh, Gopi, please come here. But then Lalita Sakhi, she just has to think, I want to see Lalita. And then immediately Lalita Sakhi appears there. So, Lalita Sakhi appeared there and asked Radharani, so, say, Radhe, what happened? Why are you crying? And Srimati Radharani had explained of how she was put into this jail of a room where she couldn't leave for 15 days in Pitra Paksha. And it said that Radharani's Vipralamba Bhava, her separation is so strong that just one blink of an eye without seeing Krishna, for one moment if she doesn't see Krishna and she blinks, that is equal to 4 yugas passing by for Radharani. The same feeling which we get if we just 4 yugas pass by, that same feeling happens to Srimati Radharani when she blinks without seeing Lord Krishna. So 15 days was like complete jail for her. So she asked Lalita Sakhi, can you please do something for me? And Lalita Sakhi said, surely I can do something for you. And Lalita Sakhi, she asked Radharani to create sanjis, floral patterns, so that they can worship Sandhya Devi. And Sandhya Devi, she told that, okay, we can worship Sandhya Devi. But then won't all the Jatila Kutila go against that? Because it's not really described in the Vedas. But then Lalita Sakhi went to Purnamasi and asked Purnamasi, telling that this is my plan, can you please help me out in my plan to help Radharani get out of the room? So when Jatila and Kutila heard that Radharani wants to go with the other gopis and collect flowers to make Sanji for Sandhya Devi, Jatila Kutila said that, well, I've never heard of such a worship called Sanji. So they went to Purnamasi to ask her if this is allowed to do such a worship. And Purnamasi said, surely. It's described in a very esoteric part of the scriptures. So Jatila and Kutila had to allow Radharani to go with the other gopis and pick flowers. And Lalita Sakhi's plan worked, and she took Radharani out, and she checked where Lord Krishna is through her other gopis. It's said that Lalita Sakhi has a whole network of gopis all around, and they're like spies for Lalita Sakhi, and Lalita Sakhi can know when and where Krishna was in any time of the day. So at 9 a.m., if Radharani wants to meet Lord Krishna, immediately Lalita Sakhi just has to ask her gopis in the network of gopis all around Vraja, where's Lord Krishna? And then she'll get messages from that gopi immediately, and she'll understand where is Krishna. She can pinpoint Lord Krishna's location at any time of the day. And it's also said that Lalita Sakhi is the only gopi which out of 16,108 gopis which can separate Lord Krishna and Radharani, and is the only gopi out of 16,108 that can conduct meetings for Lord Krishna and Radharani. She's the only gopi who can do that. And it's also said that Lalita Sakhi can make a boat float in the desert. She can make a boat float and fly through the deserts, which actually means that she can do the impossible. It said that Lalita Sakhi, she can make mountains move. She can change the clouds, all of that. And even Sudevi Gopi has all these kind of powers. Like Sudevi Gopi can arrange some weathers according to what Radha and Krishna would like. If they really want some rain right now, she can immediately create rain. Devi Gopi had that power. And even Rangadevi Sakhi had all these kind of powers. And also Rangadevi Sakhi had her own kunja, in which was completely blackish, full of blackish bluish trees, tamal trees and flowers, and even the grass, everything was blackish bluish. So one time when Jatila and Kutila heard a rumor that Radha and Krishna is in Rangadevi's grove, then Jatila Kutila ran there and they checked it out. And then when they saw Radharani and Lord Krishna there, they are really happy because they didn't really see Lord Krishna. Because it's said that in Rangadevi's Kunja, Lord Krishna is completely invisible. He merges into the color of the Kunja. And then when Jatila Kutila went there, they only see Radharani alone. So they're very happy and they go back. And Sudevi's Kunja is also very special. It's fully green. It's full of emeralds. Sudevi's Kunja. And that's where Radha and Krishna plays dice. It's where Radha and Krishna plays dice. And every time Radharani wins. So anyway, back to the story. Then Lalita Sakhi took Radharani the place where Lord Krishna was, and they found him at Govardhan Hill, beside a lake, where Krishna was fast asleep. And then after some time, Lord Krishna had woken up and asked these gopis, "Who are you and why have you come into my forest?" So these kind of pastimes is known as Keli pastimes, playful pastimes, Keli. So Lord Krishna asked, "Who are you and why have you come into my forest?" And Lalita Sakhi, who is known to be a protector of Radharani, she immediately shot back, "Well, who are you? You're just a cowherd boy. How can you own this forest? We can come here whenever we want." And defending Radharani, Lalita Sakhi helped her Radharani, and then finally created a nice meeting for Lord Krishna and Radharani there. And finally, Lalita Sakhi had saved the day. And Lalita Sakhi is known to be the right hand, left hand. Lalita Sakhi and Vishaka Sakhi, they are the right hand and left hand of Radharani. The main two gopis who are close to Lord Krishna and Radharani there. Then comes the rest of the gopis after behind, and then the prime is the Ashtasakis. And even as I was telling of how Sudevi Gopi's Kunja, Lord Krishna and Radharani used to play dice. And one day the Gopas, thinking that Lord Radharani is always winning only because they are playing in Sudevi's Kunja, where some astrologically some stars match in favor of Radharani. The Gopas always used to think like that. So the Gopas moved Lord Krishna and Radharani to another place, which they astrologically researched and found out which would favor Lord Krishna. So when they played dice, well, Krishna lost again, because none of this applies in Rajabhumi for Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. Just like how this rule of nothing really auspicious is done during this Pitra Paksha applies in Rajabhumi. It's all every day's festival in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, as
Hare Krishna.
usual. Hare Krishna, as usual, so energetic, so wonderful. These pastimes we never heard. Every time when you come, you give this each Sakhi's details. So wonderful, Prabhu. We are really getting nectar from you. In the beginning of your class said we should always in our constitutional position while thinking, not as the material body like that. And then for an example, you said if a student of 10th standard, if he is thinking of his material body and his occupational position, and then he will be bewildered in writing exam. And so he has to think about his spirit soul, is in the real ego. So what will be the impetus for such a person like you, if you are in a 10th standard, and if you think completely convinced that I am a spirit soul, so what will be the impetus for you to study or write exams?
That's why we're luckily not pure devotees.
Oh no. So
I mean, like,
is there any devotee exist like that?
probably like Srila Prabhupada. I mean, like,
No,
all pure
Prabhupada,
devotees.
Prabhupada was also very studious and
Studious. Yes, bro. That's what I was saying after that, of how when we're in this material world, we are in this material platform. So that's why Krishna says that to continue a living, you should do your karma yoga. You should do your work and offer all of that. So about this part of knowing who you are as the soul, like how we said, the soul. I am the soul. I am this eternal servant of Lord Krishna. That's the highest perfection of the meaning of soul. I said of how in Bhagavad Gita in the starting Lord Krishna says the characteristics of a soul. The soul has free will and the soul has desires. So that's the characteristic of a soul. So all souls will have desire. I want to get good marks in 10th. I want to get a job. So that's why doing devotional service means offering all of that to Lord Krishna. Whatever desires you had, whatever all of that, you do your work, you study for Lord Krishna. So that becomes devotional service. So even though you are doing this material kind of work, you are still free from this misery and fearfulness. Because you know that Krishna will help me out even in my exam. Krishna will help me out. I am an eternal servant of Lord Krishna. So that fearfulness is not there. Because for a person who doesn't know this, I'm eternal servant of Lord Krishna, he will be completely, 10th exam. It's more calmer and if you know the true identity of a soul. I hope.
Wonderful answer.
I'm not sure.
Very good. Wonderful answer. Thank you so much.
But you're really a progeny. You're not a normal boy. Krishna has sent you. So confidently answered.
Yeah.
Rameswar Prabhu, anything?
Nothing really. Just imbibing what he's telling. That's all.
What a
Yeah.
great boy he is.
Hmm.
The real
Please
studies
let him
can become divorces. Sir.
And the
Yeah.
main thing is his conviction. The
Yeah.
belief that,
Oh,
that is the main thing. No?
And also he's living in the dam, so he's very immune to other.
Mayapur.
Yeah. Mayapur Institute.
सीमा गुप्ता माता जी आपको कुछ पूछना है?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji.
क्या बढ़िया क्लास लेना बच्चे ने.
Yes, Prabhuji. Even I was showing to my brother also that see how small this boy has come to take class.
What V.S. Prabhu told is correct. His conviction so much strongly he's having.
Yeah.
Even my studies can become devotional service.
Yeah. So any questions or comments? Otherwise,
It's a big inspiration for everybody, this boy.
yeah. Prabhavi Mataji, thank you so much for allowing.
Such a wonderful mother, training
Yeah.
the son so nicely, Mataji.
Yes.
Exemplary parents there.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, Rameswar Prabhu, I have to thank you so much for helping me to get him fixed up somehow by giving him a chance to speak, because otherwise it's his playful age and he'll just play around a lot. But by giving him these classes, so he sits down and prepares or reads a Bhagavatam and spend more time in Sravanam and Kirtanam. So actually, you're helping so much, Prabhu, in helping in fixing him up. Thank you.
Mutually, the inquirer, speaker, listener, everybody is benefited, as Bhagavatam says.
Yes, bro.
He also spoke of the Bhagavatam and also Krishna Katha he added.
Yeah, Krishna Katha, very confident secret Katha. Even the many acharyas very fearful of speaking such very.
I think it is also the innocence of childhood. They get the confidence.
Yeah, the innocent child can speak. No, only otherwise very elevated. So in between we cannot touch that. So innocent child, that is a benefit for us to hear from
As
him.
you said earlier, he has been he regularly hears to his older Indrajumna Swami Maharaj's lectures.
Yeah.
And this time in Mayapur, Maharaj was there for this Vyasa Puja, and he also got a lot of chance to associate with him and get his blessings and all that. So
Very
that was
nice.
nice. So I think that also helped in giving him the confidence.
Yes,
I missed the story. My internet connection went off. What happened? Jatila Kutila, they told her not to go. Then Krishna came and saved. What is the story actually? Krishna came in some
Gopi?
Gopi, no? The same thing, same story?
He went down to tell something to his grandmother, actually. He's not here. I think he's just coming back.
I'll send you a recording. Hare Krishna.
Amazing boy.
Okay, Mataji, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Prabhu,
you,
shall
Hare
we
Krishna. Yeah, Prabhu. Vancha Kalpatrabhasya. Prabhu, tomorrow you got some other speaker, no? From
Svetavaraga Prabhu is my Bhakti Vaibhav classmate, but he is very intelligent person. Prabhu, please all join. Don't miss. And I will send you the invitation. No, Prabhu, he is, I think he is in Muscat only. I think he's in Muscat. I will get his brief profile and then I'll send you invitation today morning only.
Please,
tomorrow morning only. So please send
this Gopi's video also I missed so much on my internet.
I'll send you.
Congratulations, Prabhu. We saw your new position in as a Tata ambassador.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah.
Krishna has arranged.